Hi, it's Nathan here. The weather is terrible, so I'm filming inside today. And today we're talking about confined space entry procedures. So this is not a document that's explicitly required for ISO certification, and it's not a document that's explicitly mentioned in the regulations either. But we do have one because it is a type of high-risk work that a lot of our clients do. And it comes standard in our safety system as an auxiliary document. So there's no legal requirement to have a confined space entry procedure, but there are documents that are specifically mentioned in the regulations that you do need for confined space entry work. They are the confined space risk assessment, confined space entry permit, and also, if it's high risk, if you're in construction industry, then it's classed as high risk construction work. So you'll need a SWIMS for it as well. Just on the confined space risk assessment, if you're in construction, then your safe work method statement will have a risk assessment at every step. So whether or not that ticks the box for the confined space risk assessment is kind of iffy. If it was my site and a contractor had a good safe work method statement and a confined space entry permit system, then I probably wouldn't be hassling them too much on the fact that they don't have a single standalone risk assessment document. But I would definitely be wanting to have a look at the confined space, wanting to check the SWIMS, wanting to check that their controls were in place. In terms of what should go in the actual procedure, first of all, before you even get to the confined space entry, you'll be talking about management of confined spaces in general. So, if we've got confined spaces on our site, are they signposted? Do we have, access control? So gates, locks, manhole covers, that sort of stuff. Then your confined space procedure will talk about the actual documents that you need. So your risk assessment, your SWIMS, and your confined space entry permit. And then you'll get into the actual confined space entry controls. So things like safe access and egress, trained and competent personnel, gas testing, standby personnel with communication equipment that's been tested, rescue plan, entry log, which is normally just a part of the permit. It'll also have early on in the procedure, it'll have like your definitions, what you class a confined space as, which has a legal definition, but I'll make a separate video on that. Important thing to remember that not all confined spaces are the same in terms of risk. A lot of confined spaces will just meet the requirements of what is a confined space, but technically there won't be a huge amount of risk involved. So for example, I've been on sites where we'll have like 12-meter bits of PVC or HDPE pipe that people need to get into to do an inspection or do some sort of minor work. Excuse me. And technically it'll be a confined space, but in terms of risk, it's kind of a safe confined space. But you still need a permit, still need a SWIM, still need to assess the risks and make sure we do it safely. And then to contrast that, there'll be other really high risk confined spaces like tanks that have agitators in it, or tanks that are connected to live services, where if someone accidentally, if it's not isolated and someone flicks a switch, then the agitators come on and kill everyone inside there or flood the tanks. Or another common one is sewer manholes, because they often have hydrogen sulfide. I think hydrogen sulfide is the main one, but also carbon monoxide and low unsafe oxygen levels. And confined spaces are those things where I don't think it happens too much in Australia, but it does happen, where, one person goes in, they fall over, someone goes, oh my God, they're injured, let's get in there and save them. They go in, they fall over, and the next minute you've got half a dozen dead people in a confined space because they just kept going in to try to help each other. So yeah, not a document that's explicitly required for ISO, and not a document that's explicitly required under the health and safety regulations, but is a very common document, and it does come as standard as part of our system. So yeah, hope that helps.